Rainollon here. Today is another build showcase, and it's Nyx Prime. So let us immediately start. Starting with the mods. The mods I use on my Nyx Prime are Verdict Commentary. What it does, squad receives plus 75% weak point critical chance. What this means is when you shoot enemies in the head, you do additional 75% critical chance on them, which is solid. Cutting Drift gives you ability range, Stretch gives you ability range, Streamline, Fleeting Expertise, and Prime Flow for energy economy, Prime Continuity for ability duration, 2 augments which I'm going to talk about very soon, and Intensify which gives you ability strength. These are the mods I use. For the arcanes, Arcane Avenger, on damage there's a 21% chance for you to get a 45 flat critical chance for 12 seconds. And Molt Efficiency, while shields are active, you get plus 6 ability duration per second, up to 36%, which is pretty good there. For the stats, duration is slightly positive, efficiency is maxed out, range is solid, and strength is more than enough. Let's talk about the abilities. Let's start with the passive. Nyx gains plus 40% critical chance on primary and secondary weapon per confused enemies within affinity range, up to 200%. What this means is when you proc radiation effect on them, you proc something called confusion, which you're going to get 40 critical chance, and all the way up to 200% when you confuse a couple of enemies, which most of the time this is going to be capped, which is okay. First ability, I removed it. I don't like it at all. I think it's still horrible. I use now Nourish. Nourish is really good, gives you energy economy and also gives you viral for your entire team, so you don't have to build viral at all. Psychic Bolt, second ability. What it does is strips enemies' armor and shield. Also, if you strip Guerneer's armor, you also get armor yourself. If you strip Corpus's shield, you get shield from them. And if you strip, or you can't strip, if you use your second ability on Eximus enemies, you're going to get a little bit of overguard from them. I still find that useless, mostly because there is an augment for her fourth ability that kind of fixes your entire survivability system entirely. So overall, second ability is still fine. Not only that, they slightly changed it, and now when you kill enemies that are affected by second ability, it will spread your second ability in a small radius, which you can chain react armor strip, which is quite nice. And I'm also using a augment for the second ability, which you throw additional 3 bolts, and enemies have a guaranteed chance to be proc radiation, and that's the confusion effect, which will trigger your passive, which is quite nice. Third ability, press your third ability in a 40 meter radius, you confuse every enemy, proccing 10 stacks of radiation, and enemies pretty much start shooting each other. So if you didn't use your second ability to get the passive from the confusion effect, your third ability will give you the confusion effect immediately. And fourth ability, Absorb. I'm using the augment, and this augment, what it does, you start digiting energy per second, but we have a lot of energy sustain here, and Nourish, which we can easily just spam our abilities and don't care about energy at all. And what this does is you're immortal, and you lose mobility. You can't properly jump or bullet jump. You can only roll and slightly jump, but you're immortal. And that's why I kind of find the armor gain, shield gain, overguard kind of redundant, mostly because this augment exists, which just gives you immortality. Like, why would I still have to spam this ability to just keep myself alive, hoping I find an Eximus unit to give me overguard when I can just press this? You know, too much work for very little. And yeah, that's pretty much the setup. Those are the abilities, the stats, the mods, the arcane. Time for me to show you in game. So how does this build work? So I'm going to spawn level 200 steel path for build group dudes, unpause them, and I'm going to get some energy, press my fourth ability, and you can see that in top right my health is gray and I'm immortal, so I don't have to spam my second ability. You can also see when enemies hit me, they damage me, even if I'm not losing any health and shield. I'm getting Arcane Avenger, and also because my shield is not being nothing is reducing my shield because I'm not taking any damage. Molt Efficiency gives me permanent 36% ability efficiency, ability duration. So now I can use Nourish. You can see that I give myself viral damage. I can now press my third ability, I confuse every enemy. Now they're going to start shooting each other. And I can also press my second ability, which you fully armor strip. And when you kill enemies, you can see some of the daggers like chained to some other enemies here. Press my second ability again. Shoot. Yep, now these guys are armor strip. It's pretty much the daggers will just seek out enemies. So if you kill enemies fast, the entire group will be pretty much armor stripped. I'm going to show you now without me using my third ability. There we go. Shoot my second ability. Armor strip. Shoot this guy. It will spread out. I shoot this guy. It will spread out to this guy. It will spread out to this guy here. Now this guy is armor strip. Now this guy is armor strip. You pretty much create a chain reaction of armor strip. Especially if you have a really good clear weapon. The entire squad is just going to be armor strip. So right now how it is, she's very tanky. Her speed is still horrible and she's not really good in most content. But when it comes to stationary and immortality, she pretty much fixes that entire problem. She's decent now, I will say. In terms of power creep and speed of the game, she's still not the greatest. But she's usable. She's more than ever usable. Immortal, armor strip, viral damage, shoot enemies, you chain, armor strip enemies, and yeah, it's... and a lot of critical chance. You can also see up here, I have to completely forgot to show this. The passive. Increased critical chance for Nyx, primary, secondary weapons. That's the confusion effect. So once you confuse a couple enemies, you have a permanent 200%. But because they're going to be constantly enemies spawning near you and around you, you're going to always confuse enemies and you're going to have permanent 200% critical chance. Thanks to her passive. So yeah, that's pretty much it. There's nothing much for me to show. You're immortal, your energy economy is phenomenal. Your speed is kind of low, but you have ridiculous crowd control, armor strip, viral, energy economy, and immortality. So that's pretty much it. She's playable now, I will say. So yep, that's my Nyx Prime build. I hope you enjoyed the build. Thank you everybody for watching. Leave a like, sub, and see you all next time. Thank you. Goodbye.